Best kind of anime opening, you ask? Well, let's keep this short. Silhouette jazz.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
There it is, such a certified banger aesthetic. Okay, but now that I've introduced it, let's clarify. Art is subjective and all that nerdy crap, so I'm gonna go entirely off of my own opinion. It's not like the style is just objectively the best or anything, unless of course you count my word as law, which of course it is. Though I will say, I have some arguments that do elevate it above subjectivity. I do think there's actually some valid arguments for why this is just a banger style. So long story short, I think anime openings with a big band sound, swing rhythm, or some sort of sax solo, or just something that gets you grooving insanely hard goes very well with anime. But let's be real, sometimes openings will have a banger song but visuals that are just scenes from the show or something else that's not particularly interesting. I think at the very least, anime openings should be in a different art style. Dare I say that part can be objective. The whole point is to have a little music video to hype the show up, so might as well just have a unique art style to put on it because that helps it stick with us longer. Going back to subjectivity though, I do think the best vibe we can get from an anime opening, especially paired with Jazzy Anime music, is the silhouette. Not just because they're metal as fuck, but because they complement the audio incredibly well. Big band jazz, especially in the modern day, can carry a really old-timey, even noir vibe. Silhouettes are about as noir as you can get. Black cutouts or just low detail stylized versions of characters go along incredibly well. The two are just a natural pair given the cultural connection they share with each other. It makes the visuals and the music feel connected on a fundamental level. No matter what the show is actually about, these two styles just go along very well together no matter what the topic is. Alright, I'm sure visuals have been rolling in the background, but let's explore some specific openings so we can dissect things in a little bit more detail. We'll skim through my top 2 anime openings ever, then a quick lightning round of other examples that I can't help but gush over. We'll start off with a bang. See what I did there? The greatest anime opening ever in the form of Tank from Cowboy Bebop. So first things first, the music is legit just full-on bandy jazz through and through. Most examples I can think of just have jazz elements, but they have more modern styles thrown as well. But Tank plays it absolutely straight, not even lyrics. Speaking of playing it straight, the silhouettes are also exactly that. Long story short, Cowboy Bebop is the example we want to use as a baseline. Hold up, I feel like there's a word for that. For the example of a species that's like the premier example. Whatever, I'll just Google it. Holotype specimen is what it's called. Yeah, anyway, let's get back into the thick of things. I don't want to do a hyper analysis of every little detail because smarter and cooler people have beat me to it. And honestly, I don't need a lot of crazy symbolism to get my point across in regards to my core premise. My strategy to convince people that this type of anime opening is a banger is to simply point at it and some other good examples and say, look at how good these vibes are, and sort of just hope that you agree with me. Alright, let me use actual logic though. You might be familiar with the character design idea of make the silhouette recognizable to make a very iconic look that people can spot super easy. I think anime openings really can utilize this principle since the whole point is to introduce or at least refresh characters and key visuals in a nice condensed montage, almost like a show summary in music video format. So I think boiling things down to near black cutout versions probably adds to that goal, which is why I think silhouettes are really nice. But let me put my pinky back down and take off the nerd glasses. Alright, now let's go for a more new age example, and probably tied for first as my favorite anime opening ever. Bloody Stream from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This is an example of what I said earlier, where most openings usually mix in jazz to another style of song, but man, does this jazz flavor slap you in the face and tickle your chin and maybe a couple other things on the way out, because man, it comes out of the gate straight blasting you with the most iconic and powerful opening riff in brass section history. I almost hope I said the wrong instrument type on accident just to rage bait band kids in the comments. The silhouette definition I've been going for, it does get a little bit more lax. Like I said, Tank is sort of the holotype specimen, and most other examples kind of deviate from the exact idea, but in cool ways. Bloody Stream has a lot more vibrance and movement in it, especially with the CG flair that we have going on in 3D. Again, I think unique art styles in the openings go a really long way to make them stick out and feel iconic, so the fact that we have two pretty unique styles going on top of each other for the visuals just let Bloody Stream strut forward with all its flashiness and never look back. Something I should mention with both songs I've talked about so far. You know how most anime openings are a full song cut down to a minute and a half for the TV version but have a full version on Spotify or whatever? Well, if you're borderline unemployed like me, you might seek out the full version of your favorite anime openings and listen to them. And let me tell you, both Tank and Bloody Stream have saxophone solos between the two verses that are smooth, groovy, and downright diabolically sexy that you might end up grinding the air like you're making love to some ghost in front of you. Okay, maybe that imagery was a tad over the top, but it's legitimately true and I do it often, hopefully not in public. Like, come on, some of us just can't keep it together when we hear some nice sax. There's a reason it's only one letter away from sex, and that's because it's equally as pleasurable. Okay, I'm surprised while writing the script I managed to get this long into the video without saying something that would ruin a job interview. So long story short, simplified yet flashy visuals really aid the core goal for most anime openings, and classical jazz influences can really help songs stick out where they otherwise might have been generic or a tad dated for their time. Clearly, the music and art styles discussed have stood the test of time, given that they're commonly associated with 1930s, 50s, so I think you really can't go wrong in using one or both of these art styles in anime openings or really any artistic project, because we've seen that they are quite literally timeless in the grand scheme of things. I probably already used them as background footage, but for those who want more recommendations for openings like this, I'll give you a few more on the way out. We got Casanova Posse, I think that's how you pronounce it, by Ollie, an opening for Dr. Stone that takes silhouette to the max and has an incredibly unique lighting scheme that I seriously just don't think I've ever seen it animated, literally at all, let alone so fluidly into such a banger jazz tune. They mix bossa nova style and Latin style jazz into a lot of their songs that just give them a superb style that I've really never seen anywhere else. If I had $1 for every time I've said jazz or style in this video, I'd probably be wealthy. Nextly is one quite a bit more famous, Otonoke by Creepy Nuts, From Dawn to Dawn. I'm sort of cheating on this one because the jazz elements are way more understated here, if at all, but the silhouette chunks do go insanely hard, so I'd be remiss not to at least toss in a mention there. Spy Family, I think, also has one really solid opening that matches this vibe, and I actually feel like it's deeply inspired by Cowboy Bebop's Tank, though maybe I'm crazy. They share the classic spy thriller type beats along with the jagged black shadows and rich primary colors in the background. Alright, that's it for my other examples. If you have some that match the style, please let me know in the comments. I'm not even trying to bait you into feeding the algorithm, I just legitimately want more openings like this to enjoy. Other than that, like and sub if you're cool, but you're cool anyway, so no pressure. Watch the weekly video uploads and live stream on Tuesdays. Epic channel member Frog Wizard voted for this topic. Become a member if you want to choose what videos I make. Alright, y'all are goats if you made it to the very end of the video. Love you anyway. Taco out. Talk out.